Criminal Insider. This is a lost news report coming out of Watsonville, California. 2004. The land of the North. Norteno gangs have always had a very heavy presence in these northern towns. It is reported in the city of Watsonville there are several different Norteno cliques, such as Watsonville Barrio Norte, City Hall Watsonville, Clifford Manor Locos, and Barrio Green Valley, and even more beyond that. Norteno neighborhoods have been at war with each other since way back. And in 2004 a war broke out between Watsonville Barrio Norte and City Hall Watson. Reports indicate what initially started this war was that a Watsonville Barrio Norte gang member by the name of Mario Lozano was shot, but managed to survive. Local authorities suspected that City Hall Norteno gang member Isaac Guzman, also known as Little Vago, of being the gunman that pulled the trigger. It was not too long after that incident that Northside Watson would seek retaliation, and that it happened. City Hall member Guzman was apparently struck with a knife several times. Apparently the gunman managed to avoid captivity up until 2018, when he was extradited from Mexico to the United States to face pending murder charges. Apparently right after the Guzman murder another Northside gang member would be shot by the name of Brian Smith, also known as Sneaky. Detectives marched ballistics and indicated that they used the same gun for this shooting and next murder that was yet to come. This was a hood gun, where several gang members would attack rivals with that same gun. This is when Norteno gang member Manuel Rosas from City Hall Watson would cause a situation that would change the rest of his life. Authorities already had a run with Rosas when local police pulled over Rosas and other City Hall gang members, and found a .38 special revolver in the passenger seat. It was apparent to them that his face was covered in gang tattoos. A tattoo read City Hall Soldier on his neck. He had a huge X4 on his neck, and a teardrop, and the 4 dots. Although he was detained for gun possession, somebody came to his aid and posted $5,000. While he was out is when he would pick up this second-degree murder charge. Apparently the victim in this case knew that perhaps he would be targeted, as he told his friend Austin to be careful, because he has been participating in Norteno activities. On May 13, 2005, Rosas and other gang members went to the cemetery to visit fallen gang member and searched for their next victim. Is when Austin and Minton were at a friend's house. Apparently the victims had noticed the burgundy Yukon passing by several times over the past few weeks. And on one day the burgundy car did a U-turn and started driving around 5 miles an hour and exchanged a few words, and Manuel Rosas shot both of the men, killing Minton. Witnesses testified seeing a burgundy car racing away from the crime scene. Apparently he went to a friend's house and scrubbed everything down in his car. He was hiding out and cops put a BOLAB on the lookout for this vehicle and pulled over the burgundy Yukon, only to find the murder suspect's sister driving the vehicle. Upon doing forensic testing in the SUV, detectives found gun residue particles around the car. This is when the suspect's sighter told him that the police wanted to speak with him, which compelled Manuel to flee to Mexico. He would notify his mother like a month later by calling her. He moved to Wisconsin and eventually South Carolina, up until the point where he was detained and extradited for this murder. Apparently he was free for years. Miraculously, the victim's mother found out that Rosas was being detained in South Carolina and notified authorities. She stated that he was literally about to be released from jail. What solidified his fate was when police arrested another gang member of the City Hall who was present at the City Hall meeting called the Junta, and Marcos Lopez, a City Hall member, would talk to police and state that Rosas was responsible for the murder, and admitted it during the meeting with fellow gang members. Another City Hall gang member by the name of Bandit would speak with police and betray Rosas. He would be arrested for attempted murder charges, and agreed to cooperate with authorities in exchange for information about Rosas. Bandit told police that Rosas had traveled across the country and that he had wanted to come back, and that he had gone back to Watsonville several times since the murder. Rosas would go on to tell Bandit that there would be a black man testifying in his case, and if he can take care of that. Apparently Rosas had such love for his fellow gang members that he had both their names tattooed on his hands. Reading Meance and Bandit, both would go on to testify against him. Another City Hall Norteno by the name of Little Stomper would testify in this case as well, stating that Rosas had admitted to murdering 2 people. He was charged with drunk driving but had his charges dropped for agreeing to testify. The defendant Rosas would be found guilty of second-degree murder and received a life sentence. The victim's mother remembers the night her son was killed and recalls hearing the sirens and helicopters in the air, and a friend of the victim would notify his mother, breaking her world into 1,000 pieces. She fell down to her knees and started screaming no 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 why. She now celebrates her victory knowing that Rosas is now behind bars.